Hello, it's us back again. That's my little dog and me. He's down there, and the budgies in the lounge too. It's us though, back again with the second instalment in our 3, 4, 5, 6 series, in which we look at the third through to the sixth studio album releases of a band or artist. Now, if you missed the first one, looking at albums by the mighty Judas Priest, then I've put a card above for you to catch up. But who have we chosen for the tricky second video? It's only Uriah bleeding Heep in it, and they look at yourselves, Demons and Wizards, The Magician's Birthday, and Sweet Freedom releases, and not their live album that came in the middle, because it's his studio albums only. Now, I love Heep, always have, and I've been lucky enough to have seen them live twice. Once way back in 1980 on their 10th anniversary tour of the Conquest album, and then again in 2022 for their delayed 50th anniversary tour, which they called from lockdown to rockdown. They did play live near my home here in South Wales again at the start of this month, but my health meant I didn't have the energy really to go and see them, which is a shame, as I'd have loved to have heard some tracks from their latest album, Chaos and Colour, being given the full live Heep treatment. But I digress, and let's get on with these, looking at these older studio releases, shall we? Now, in their early days, Heep were churning out albums at a breakneck speed, an alarming rate, if you will, on the Bronze label. And these 4 albums followed scorchingly hot on the heels of their debut Very Heavy, Very Humble and Salisbury albums. Now, the lineup was evolving around the core members of main songwriter, he became the main songwriter and Hammond organ maestro Ken Hensley, guitarist Mick Box, and legendary vocalist, really inspirational David Byron. And for the first album we look at, 1971's Look at Yourself, the trio was joined by Paul Newton on bass and Ian Clark on drums. Now, the album's cover is a little bit of an acquired taste, but its contents altogether go on to make an absolutely fantastic hard rock record. From the Ray Manzarek type Doors organ intro of the opening title track through I Wanna Be Free, which sees Heep really rock out, and David Byron producing one of his finest vocal performances, making the track one of my all-time favourite Heep songs. And then on to July Morning, a track needing no elaboration. Side 1 of this record is sheer perfection. Side 2 sees Heep going all eclectic, from the southern rock of Tears in My Eyes to the Hammond heavy Shadows of Grief, What Should Be Done with Its barroom piano, and the closing classic Heep shuffle of Love Machine. Now, the album might lack a sidelong epic of its predecessor, but I think it's better for that, in my eyes anyway, or my ears anyway. It's a fantastic album. 1972 saw Heep's lineup evolve into what many see as a prime Heep, really, with Gary Thane and Lee Kerslake replacing Paul Newton and Ian Clark respectively on bass and drums. The year also saw two more new studio releases in a calendar year in the shape of Demons and Wizards and The Magician's Birthday. Bands don't do that anymore. The former, probably Heep's most well-known album, I would say, saw the first of 2 luscious Roger Dean artwork gatefold sleeves. There's not a weak track on this record, from the opening acoustic-driven magic, pardon the pun, of The Wizard to the epic closer, The Spell. In between, there are classics like Traveller in Time, Easy Living, a typical Heep shuffle, and probably their most successfully commercial song, prog-like noodling of Poet's Justice, and then Circle of Hands, which sees some sublime tub-thumping from Lee Kerslake and David Byron at his finest again. This track includes one of the greatest lyrics ever written, when Byron utters the words, "Today is only yesterday's tomorrow." Demons and Wizards indeed. Now, Heep used to rehearse in the same rehearsal rooms as Deep Purple, and this is evident in the opening to Rainbow Demon, a slow burner of a brooding track and a live set staple to this day. They then repeat their journey into Southern Boogie with All My Life before the album's Soft Moment in Paradise and the aforementioned The Spell. Later that same year saw the release of The Magician's Birthday with another Roger Dean gatefold containing what might loosely be described as Heap's concept album, based, well, according to Ken Hensley's sleeve notes anyway, on a short story he'd written. The record opens with Sunrise, a classic Heap opener, again with a cracking David Byron falsetto. Spider Woman is a rather poppy shuffle before Heap go all galloping bass line in the acoustic Blind Eye. Echoes in the Dark sees a synth-heavy opening before David Byron goes all musical theatre in style. What a virtuoso, with Gary Thane's bass again to the fore, showing what a talent he was. Rain is a beautiful ballad, demonstrating Byron's virtuosity again and ability to sing across all musical styles, really, and it contrasts with the catchy Sweet Lorraine, as close to a pop song, I think, as Heap will ever get. Tales sees more acoustic balladeering before the album's titular closer, surely the only rock song to include a rendition of Happy Birthday to You. It's all a bit Sgt. Pepperish before fading to a prog rock style section and a blistering Mick Box solo with Ken Hensley noodling away on the keyboard in time with Lee Kerslake's syncopated drumming. A different album in feel to its predecessor and not quite in the same league in my opinion. Now, your opinion may vary, and I know many cite this as their favourite Heap record. The last record in this sequence is 1973's Sweet Freedom. Now, gone are the sumptuous gatefolds and accompanying artwork, replaced with a simple band photo. The cover maybe reflects a move away from the two previous conceptual offerings with their, as I said, loose concept feeling, really, and onto a more standard rock record like, Look at Yourself. The opening track, Dreamer, seems the band go a little bit funky, really, something a bit different from them, before launching into Stealing, an utter classic with a signature Gary Thane bass riff and stunning Mick Box slide guitar solo. Another staple of their live set and another great lyric in the line, I stood on a ridge and sunned religion. Superb stuff. One Day is a typical Heap rocker, ushering in the title track, a bit of a slow burner before breaking into classic Heap, again with a fine David Byron vocal performance. Did he ever sing badly? I don't think he did. Another nod to prog in If I Had the Time before a track which I wouldn't be surprised to learn inspired Iron Maiden somewhat. 7 Stars is a galloping tune with an almost Middle Eastern feel in parts, but really, Iron Maiden must have heard that song. Circus provides the album's quiet acoustic moment before the album closes with Pilgrim, a track with more Mick Box funkiness, giving way to Heap's trademark Hammond organ and heavy guitar sound. There you are then. That's my look at Heap's early middle order of album releases. Now we'll be back in the new year with more videos and a look at another artist's 3rd to 6th releases. Who should we do next, I wonder? Yes, I wonder. All right then. Be nice to each other, okay? See you next year. Ta-ra.